Some people think the SWAT 4's AI is amazing. Some people think SWAT 4's AI is terrible. Now the best part about this is, they're both right. Being able to competently handle some tasks,
Let's go. Keep it smooth. Moving on. Reynolds, I'm clear.
In position. Clear.
while sometimes hilariously failing at others.
Time to move. Go. Trailers, let's
Hands
go.
up.
Hands
Now.
up. On your knees.
Contact
just
has
standing
complied.
These guys can be your saving grace and be your worst enemy.
Go, go, go. Time to move.
Suspect spotted. They're out of sight. Suspect
Drop
down.
your weapons.
Orders.
Here we go.
Drop the gun. Do it now. Drop your weapon. Get those hands. Get down. Hands in the air.
But what is it that can make these guys go from the best to the worst possible? What are they thinking about when they're doing all the things that they're doing? What do they see? What do they hear? How do they decide where they're going to go? Well, let's find out. For starters, let's see how they move. Notice these green lines? That'll show you where they're trying to get to. Now, this guy's dead and the game bugs out, and this is also why you can get some memory leak crashes, because, well, this guy, he's continuously trying to move over there. However, he's no longer with us.
Suspect killed.
Same for these. Let's give our boys a search order and see where they go.
Keep clearing. I got it, boss.
Notice the green and purple lines. Now, movement's pretty simple, and I imagine you've put this together yourself by now, but the green lines show where they're actively moving to, whereas the purple lines will show a queued path, where they'll go after they finish with their green path movement.
Pea shooter secure.
Okay, yeah, don't worry about all the rest here.
Weapon secured.
Now, movement's pretty easy, so let's go ahead and move on to something a little more complex, where they're looking and where they're facing. The green line shows where their weapon is pointing. As you can see by the animations, it doesn't always point in the exact right area. If out of nowhere you have a suspect blast you without any warning, this is why. Even though he is aiming at you, it might not actually be showing it. The blue line shows the orientation of their body. The yellow line shows where they are focusing. As you'll notice throughout this video, they seem to focus a lot more often on doors. Look at this one. Now clearly this is a doorway. However, when they're not looking at doors, how do they know where they're supposed to look? I assumed it would be programmed in. Maybe they are well aware based off of the pathing where certain choke points or specific positions are. For instance, it made a lot of sense for them to be looking at the top of the staircase as they're walking up it. However, there's all this other area over here. Why weren't they looking at that instead? Obviously, they didn't see anything else up here, but they were focusing specifically on this point. Well, that has to do with their memory and the threat assessment algorithm. Now, the memory in this game is actually pretty interesting in that the bots themselves don't have the memory. The memory, if it can even be called that, is stored in nodes that are placed around the map in these little white boxes. Now, you'll notice some are smaller than others. And you'll also notice some of them are red or tinted red. These are the nodes that hold the officers' memories. The smaller boxes are points that the officers have not investigated yet. When they move over here and investigate it, that node now has the information written to it that it has been checked by the officers. Also, as you'll notice, it's the nodes themselves that the officers are looking at. Not really a door, and not really any particular position, the node itself. Next, these red tinted nodes. Now, the bodies might be giving this away, but these are nodes that have the information written to them that there has been an engagement there. There has been a confirmed danger in that area. The solid red shows the closest point to where that danger was, because the quote-unquote danger itself is actually going to be spread out in a gradient-like fashion across the nodes in the general area where the engagement took place. This is where these suspects were engaged. So, these nodes hold the information of that engagement, including whether or not the suspect got away or if they were neutralized. That's one of the things that the bots also pay attention to when running their threat assessment check. They almost always look at doors, especially if the door is open, because that is the highest threat possible for that particular area. However, if there has been an engagement and the suspect was not neutralized, they will almost always favor looking in that area, though there is programming that tries to make it to where they don't all look at the exact same spots at the exact same time, except for in situations like this where they're stacked up on a door and ready to go.
Stack it up. Got it.
Entry denied. Door locked.
Now this is just the officers. What is it that the suspects or the hostages see? Well, they really don't use the same systems. For instance, morale. These officers all have 0.00 morale. That's because even though they do technically have that system hard-coded into them, they don't actually use it. Your officers cannot lose or gain morale. They will not run and hide.
They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear.
You can see here on a hostage, their morale is only 0.34. Now, this can be different for each hostage. This one is 0.32, and this in-capped one is 0.82. You can show the aggressive or not, or their idle category. For instance, his is incapacitated, whereas theirs is none. Now this enemy AI I gave a heckin' spook, so he is suspicious. You can see also his enemy skill is set to high, and whether or not he is a threat is false, because he can't see me right now because I am ethereal. You can see it is now set to true, and who he is currently targeting, along with whether or not he can hit me. Now his morale is at 0.94. Since he ran out of ammo, his morale dropped even lower.
You see him? Drop your weapon.
0.44, because I shot him. And he is now compliant. And now he's dead. Here we have an enemy that hasn't seen me, or heard me, and that's because, well, I turned him off. But you can see that he is completely unaware. However, they do have hearing and sight. Turning on hearing here, I haven't made a sound, so he's still unaware. Let's move around. Suspicious. Finding a new enemy here. With sound off,
Put your hands up and get down.
Shoot him!
they can still be activated by commands. However,
Too many of them! Somebody get over here!
as you can see, sight and sound doesn't actually drive their movement system. They are two completely disconnected systems. Again, with this enemy who is unaware, opening and closing a door doesn't do anything. Even firing a weapon will not change his state. So we are in a different area, and I might even sound different, and that is because I got so tired of the game crashing on me that I decided to take a short break and come back to finish this video. So it's been like an hour. What do we got here? Where was I? Oh yeah, shooting his buddy. This guy doesn't have a buddy. Go find someone that does. Nope. 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 Did I just spawn into a game that doesn't have more than one person in each room? Are you kidding me? You guys are kind of close. It's not gonna work though. There we go. Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, anyways, please don't crash this time. Okay, with all their stuff turned off and everything, here's what happens when you shoot their buddy.
Fucking murderers.
And just for kicks, here's what happens when you shoot a hostage.
Dock to entry team. This one's a wash. Come back in or salvage what you can.
Anyways, now we'll turn their vision on, but not their hearing. Let me get out of the way first. So, if I were to walk in front of him, he would see me, but even opening this door, nothing.
Drop your weapon. Get
Oh,
those hands
well,
up. Back off.
it does when I click that. It crashed again. Oh my god, I'm never gonna finish this video. Anyways, we got most of the stuff out of the way. So how about we turn on all the different overlays and see what they look like when they actually go through a mission.
Ready.
Oh, that's actually one thing I forgot to talk about. Vision. As you'll notice, the SWAT officers have a full 180-degree vision all the way around. And if you notice it's kind of offset, that's because it shows through their right eye. Suspects and civilians, even dead ones like this guy, wait, incapacitated. Even dead ones like this guy,
Failed your objectives.
Make him safe. Nothing more.
comes through their right eye. Hey, get back here. Come on, I'm trying to make a video, dude. There we go. Right eye, see?
One of the gunmen. There.
Alright, let's keep that. Oh, man. Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And get back to what I was talking about. Here they are going through the level themselves. Don't worry, I'm not going to show the whole level.
Opening clear. Move when ready. I got it, boss.
One thing I did not talk about is if you notice that purple line.
Deploying C2.
That is what happens when you have the assignments on. He was assigned to go to that door to plant C2. Not really a big deal, but there is an enemy in here, so let's see how they react to this.
Suspect spotted. Suspect's out of range. What next? Move it. Go, go, go. Hands up. Now. Get down. Put your hands up. My hands are clear.
Notice how the box turned red to show that there was an enemy there.
Stay quiet, you.
Now this is an armed civilian. Even though he is technically a suspect, he's actually a neutral party. He is not one of the suspects that will attack us. Let's see how they treat him.
Opening clear. Move when ready. Officers, move in. Police, get down. Failed. Suspects is applied. Clear. Room clear.
Now this is going to be the big test. Let's see how it goes.
Initiate. Let's go. Suspect contact. Ready for trailers. Suspect is gone. Orders. Police, drop your weapons. Room clear.
And that is why people say the AI is great and simultaneously the worst. So many different subroutines they have to run through while they're clearing this area. You notice they were getting shot at but didn't even pay attention to it. However, once they engaged, they all then corrected themselves. You can see all these different areas they noticed that they had to take care of. Even this right here. Keeping an eye on him. He knows that he is unsecured. So he is an immediate threat. Checking the door. Checking the door. A closed door does not rate as highly as the open door. Let's go ahead and get him down here.
Go there.
Now let's go ahead and give them a command to search the rest of the room and pick up all the other items that they need.
Check that room.
Weapon secured.
Pea shooter secure. Weapon secure. Gun secured.
Let's see if we can't find some of the bugs or limitations.
Let's go. Suspect down.
I ain't getting in your way.
Weapon security clear.
It's clear. Ready and shotgun.
I ain't getting in your way. In here!
They have completely stopped paying attention to the guy that has the weapon. He has been temporarily incapacitated, but let's see if it goes downhill from here. That woman is incredibly lucky that she got those Kevlar teeth fillings. They are very concerned about that door in particular. Anyways, let's see what happens when they go through here.
My signal. Clear that room. Here we go.
Do it! Go! 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 Go!
Gerard is down. Let's get in there, guys.
Wait, how did you get hit? The one and only survivor. That's about it.